Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What's up, everybody?
Good morning,
everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's been a while since we've done one of these. Sorry, guys, the audience. I've been traveling a bunch this month, and I've been going every weekend. People have been emailing me and asking me where the live stream is at, and I have not been around. It's been a busy month.
It's football season too.
Football season too. I would try to do it on Saturdays, but Saturdays are also local bodybuilding show days. So I have people competing every fucking weekend pretty much from April until I think I've got about 2 or 3 more weeks left of guys. I got like 6 or 7 guys left, including you, Gonzo.
That's right. For the first time ever. Let's see how this goes. Let's see. Chandler and I are excited. We're very excited about this whole thing.
Getting out there just to get lean and have fun and get the experience. Yeah, its first shows are great. I have several first show guys coming up here in the next couple weeks. I like doing first shows with people. It's just a win getting them through the prep and learning what it's like. And
it's been such a whirlwind and such an amazing experience. Like it's very interesting. I will say this. It is one of those experiences that you put yourself through that, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. And as long as you have the support system, and I cannot thank my support system enough, being my coach and my wife, let me tell you, because that woman is a saint to put up with 2 people on contest prep, with my son and me at the same time and being supportive. But it is an amazing experience. I definitely would say to anyone who's even vaguely interested, try it once. Just try it once. See what it's like. And you'll learn a lot about yourself and about your limits and your capacity, your control, and the things that you think you can't do that you can, which is great.
Yep. I tell guys, if you want to get in the best shape of your life, that's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
Nothing like knowing you have to get on the stage in 16 weeks in your underwear to motivate you to stick to a diet and training plan.
Absolutely. Hey, I used to be that teenage kid that wouldn't get in the pool without a t-shirt on, back in the day, because I was overweight. And now it's like, I'm going to get, swim trunks, right? So it's trunks. It's not underwear, but still.
I should have been that kid that put the shirt on, but I
didn't. Something tells me Josh was the one that didn't give a fuck.
Oh, dude. Well, everybody that I was friends with became college athletes. I took my shirt off one time. I was like, okay. Gotcha.
I was like skinny fat, I guess, when I was younger. I was 185 pounds and doughy and had gyno man boobs.
No, I broke 200 in 6th grade.
I went through my fat phase in middle school, but I was like 180, 185 when I graduated high school. But I had boobs.
Same here. Like the what is it? Fake
I still got some.
The pubescent gyno. I mean, I had it before I ever even took PEDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a chubby kid growing up too, till I hit high school. Then adolescence kicked in, and everything changed real quick.
Dave's a week post show, and he still has prep face.
He still has some dirty tan on his neck too.
Oh, you should see my. That's how I knew my Masteron was real, when it was soaking in my tan and cracking like the salt plains, But you can see you see like the color difference. It looks like pigmentation, kind of.
Yeah, Masteron makes you look old. So does Winstrol. Winstrol will make you look old too. It's like you're like that guy that smoked way too many Marlboros.
Or the right amount.
Or the right amount, depending on what you
expect. Makes you look old.
Winstrol makes you feel old too.
Yeah, it does make you feel old.
Yeah, I'm only up like 1.5 pounds right now.
I was reading about some of the more potent DHT derivatives like Masteron, and there's Mr. Troponin Nutrition himself.
Oh,
looks like he's sitting in a dark room. Um,
can change that.
yeah, supposedly it depletes collagen in the skin. That's what makes your skin super thin and it gives you that paper look. But if you're on it for too long, and then you have the added bonus of the DHT increasing sebum production, so you get thin, that thin like leathery skin on top of tanning, and then on top of that, it's all oily too. So you end up looking like an oily leather pocketbook that's been used too much.
It's the lizard people.
It's
You
also
want,
very easy to abrase your skin.
yeah, you want the bright and blood look. Just take some Nandrolone. That'll fix it.
Well, I hit the tanning bed yesterday for the first time since before my show in July, and
What did it do to you?
I'm a little pink. I'm a little crispy.
Yeah, you look a little pink. I thought maybe the blood pressure was high, Mike.
Any of you guys use the melanotan to tan up? I've used it a handful of times.
I've used it years ago. I just hated how you looked like you had leprosy for a month afterwards after you stopped taking it.
Yeah.
Was that the 1 or the 2? Because I've been curious about using the 1. It seems like a lot less intense.
Yeah, it was 2. But I think I feel like the one I'm speaking of specifically, where I felt like I literally had I was a leper, was 2. But I feel like 1 did it also. But that was, I don't even know the last time I did that 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used it one time. I mean, shit, 15, 20 years ago. It was a long time. I just remember it made me sick as fuck. Oh my God, I was so nauseous from it.
Well, that's
It's
why I
great for weight
started,
loss.
because people said it, lowered your appetite. I was like, it didn't lower my appetite. It just made me sick as hell. I'm still hungry. I just don't want to eat because I want to throw up.
Mm.
I used
Did
it
you
for
eat,
a
though?
long time without any side effects at all. And then all of a sudden, overnight, I started getting the flushing and the nausea every time I would inject it. So I stopped using it for quite a while, but I think, it'll hang around. Like, you can take that stuff, if you take it for a long period of time, your skin will stay dark for 6 months or more.
Yeah.
After you're done taking it. And I just now got to the point where I'm looking at myself going, hey, I'm kind of pasty. So I did some melanotan the night before I tanned, night before last, and hoping then that would kickstart things, but I still just turned pink.
Isn't it, if you take it long enough, that it will permanently change your skin pigmentation?
Looking for
Yeah.
moles, I know. But, yeah.
And your
Oh,
mold,
let's-
depending on what your different genes are, you'll either have a bunch more freckles or your skin will just stay dark.
I need Skip on
Chase,
for this. He's the melanotan expert.
Yeah, Chase used to use so much. Like, I actually thought Chase was like Cuban when I first started following him because he was using so much melanotan.
Oh, I'll tell you the
Like,
protocol.
I thought he.
Yeah, the protocol is basically a half milligram or a milligram a day for a week, and then 1 milligram every other week. You're basically going to be. It's called a fast track to black, and it works.
And that's with the 2, with melanotan 2.
Yeah, melanotan too. Sorry.
Okay.
That
Part
sounds
1
like
out.
something that belongs in your dating profile.
How about that flushing that you were mentioning, Mike? Is that like a niacin flush? Is that what it's like? Is it kind of like that?
No,
Yes.
it's a bit more intense than that. Yeah. It's a bit
More
more
intense
intense
than
than that. Yeah. And when I inject, I'll do it right when I go to bed because hopefully I fall asleep before it hits. But yeah, your head gets hot. It's really unpleasant. And then you have the nausea that comes along with it. It goes away pretty quickly. Right. So
It seems
Yeah, I
like
don't
a,
remember
Also an
the-
aphrodisiac.
I don't remember the nausea being terrible, but it wasn't enjoyable. That's for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
I just
the
didn't
random
like how
erections are kind of cool, but except for when they're not.
oh, wait, what?
If your erection lasts longer than 4 hours, call a friend and brag about it.
or if you
Boners.
randomly get an erection in the grocery store or something.
Man,
It's like you're 15 all over again.
These guys
Well-
running low dose Cialis along with melanotan. They must be walking around 24/7.
Oh yeah, tucked under their belt.
Yeah. Stiff breeze. will wake you
Confirmed.
up.
Confirmed.
I'll just say this: I had more than one yesterday.
Oh man.
Well, the one thing I notice is it works pretty good, but your freckles and any little dark spots, sunspots, they're almost permanent once you darken them up. So I didn't really care so I stopped taking it this prep. because I just didn't want
Yeah,
freckles. You know, when I was a kid, I had freckles like crazy, and I just didn't want them to just show back up and stay there forever. You know, I don't think that's worth it.
I feel like it's probably worth it because I think one of the worst parts about the way we peak in the whole bodybuilding scene is that you do so much work to get lean, get all the body fat off, everything you can to thin the skin, and then you paint on, basically layers of extra skin.
Yeah.
I never really feel like it ends up making that much of a difference having a good tan going into getting sprayed. But it seems like it must because you can clearly see the difference. You look at yourself, then you go get tan, and then you come home back to the room, and you expect to look way better, but you just look tanner, and you look like you got a thicker layer of skin on. Eventually it absorbs mostly, but it's always a frustrating thing. So I think even if mentally just not needing that much spray tan until it fully absorbs, I think during the peak, because that can mess people up when they go get tan and they cake it on, and until it's kind of all absorbed, you don't look better like you were hoping to look. And I've had clients kind of stress about that, which then does make them look worse. So
Yeah. I've had melanoma twice, so I'm scared to use it. And then, on top of it, I can't use a tanning bed, so I don't have much of a choice other than to go in pasty.
yeah, I think I've been watching for years trying to see if I can tell a difference. It seems like the tan fully soaks into the skin and that kind of dissolves, but there is a period of time after getting tanned where it kind of just sits on the skin and makes you look, the skin thicker.
I had a really weird time last year. Like I couldn't keep the tan on when I was at the show. It was also super humid at that show too. So, but like it kept like if you look back at my pictures, my armpits.
You have the
were
widest
completely white.
armpits, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the tans are so much better than they used to be, but if you were coached 20 years ago, you probably had a protocol because they used to be a lot harsher. What I used to have people do is take a hot shower, get out and use a rough towel, and just scrub any dead skin they can get off their skin, and then go in and take a cool shower, cold shower to kind of constrict the pores and everything, and then start your first layer of tan. When you would tan yourself, because if you didn't do that, it would get really blotchy, like the old Pro Tan and stuff when they didn't have the sprays. You're just putting it on with those foam paint spreader things they gave you. But with the modern stuff, the new stuff's so good you don't really have to do that. But if you're listening and you are someone who has issues with tan, if you do that kind of protocol, hot shower, rough scrub with a towel, get all the dead skin off, get back in, cold shower, then go get your tan, it will be more even. But again, the tans now are so good you don't really need to do it. But if you are someone who gets blotchy or doesn't apply well, that'll help.
Hey, I have to warn guys about you do need the cold shower because the pores will open up.
Yeah.
And then you end up looking like a porcupine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I just learned this year following people getting ready for the Olympia that there are some guys that need to tan pretty much all week, that they'll do 3 or 4 layers of tan and then wash it off and then go get tan again so that they are able to get their tan to look stable.
Yeah. If you can
forget who they were talking about.
You'll find who the good tanners are. I have a couple that I try, if I know they're gonna what tanning companies there, I'll try to get my clients. There's always, some people just take more care in their work than others. It's just the natural state of humans, and so find tanning, and then you can kind of get a little repertoire. If you're doing, all the summer national shows and you're seeing the same people, you kind of get a little thing like, hey, we get my guy, and then they really do take even more care with it. Little things.
Yeah, there's definitely a girl backstage I seek out that's at all the national shows that does a really good job.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah.
Not giving much secrets though.
Yeah, I'm already learning about the whole skincare thing. By the way, Paul, great video you have on the channel for anyone who wants the reference on the contest prep and what to expect. Please watch that if you've never done a show.
I need to update that.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. But I already warned the wife about the no deodorant rule for a couple of days ahead of tanning. So in order to not turn green,
just to be safe. Yeah, they warn you about that you'll get the green armpits.
Yeah. So she's already and of course I know nothing about skincare up until now. So when I told her about this, all of a sudden, like my daughter and her have given me the 101 skincare exfoliating Oh my gosh. Anyway,
I always see that one guy at the show that tries to do the tan himself, and then he completely fucks it up and looks way different than everybody else on stage.
Yeah. It used to be an art, and so it really you couldn't be a difference maker with your tan if you had a really good system, but it never works out anymore. And even if it does, you just look different, which stands out, and not in a good
Yeah,
way.
I mean, the people that are doing hundreds of these every day are going to be better at it than you,
Yeah.
more than likely.
for sure.
Or your
Although
coach.
if you had your own airbrush, you used to be able to. It got really bad in the pros for a couple of years. You could kind of ab etch and do darker tan around all your muscles. That was pretty big in the mid 2000s when the airbrush stuff first started coming out.
No, I have an airbrush. So take note of that.
Yeah, I mean, you just do a couple key spots, get underneath your glutes where your glute hamstrings tie in, really, really dark. When it's darker there, it's going to look like a sharp line. It's going to add 2% of definition. Most muscles move so much you can't do much, but you can do under the pec line. So when you're standing there, your front relaxed, you can do a couple, like maybe your lower abs that aren't as deep, and then do those where they'll be contracted when you're doing a front relaxed. And then the deeper one, it'll look more even all the way through. You kind of lose it because when you do a front bi, it's spread out differently, but then you're stretched more, and that little bit of extra tan gets stretched out, and you don't really even see it. Same thing, bottom of the quads, above the kneecap, up to where the the vastus lateralis and vastus medialis is. You can get that thicker. There's a couple really good spots. That same thing right here on your front relax, because it'll really it just creates a little. I'm talking a couple percentage points, but very often at a big show, that's the difference maker.
I saw a guy at the Tampa Pro. I don't know what the hell he did, but he had a completely different color than everybody else. He looked like he was gold.
I like the Indian shows where they do go gold. That's way cooler.
What's that? Yeah, the Dream Tan is banned, and that was big for a while. Yeah, that gets because that's just paint. It's like a Halloween paint.
Still awesome.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I mean, you look like a statue.
I've seen guys tan themselves though and totally botch it and stand up on stage just looking so much different than everybody else. They just look weird.
I would say
if you
more.
If you don't do a top coat, you're gonna be green on stage everywhere.
Yeah, I'd say more times than not, the guys that do it themselves screw it up. There are some people that are good at it. There are a couple.
I'm lucky, Jackie. My wife's an esthetician, so I got a spray tan. I got a spray tan
the inside.
in my house.
Yeah, yours turned out nice. She did a really nice job on yours.
Yeah. Well, we'll look up where, just like Justin said, we'll look up what the show is, and we have all the different, whether it's liquid sun rays or whatever the other brands are, and
so
whatever we're going to get. Yeah, so we kind of match it up, and it's just, depending on the scenario too. A lot of the times, what really helps is she has this. I think I mentioned it before. I'll have to get the name. I think it's a liquid sun ray product, but it's got a little bit of gritness exfoliant. And you just go ahead and exfoliate with that, and it cleans off real nice, and it's noticeable. Like I don't take the best care of my skin, but I noticed the difference of how it kind of took and felt after using that preparation of exfoliant for sure.
Yeah, Protan has one. I think it's called Get Buffed. Is there?
I think that's actually what I have. Yeah, Get Buffed is the name. I couldn't remember the brand.
Yeah, it's Protan that makes it. I usually use that the week leading in. Sometimes I'll go get a base tan done as well.
Right.
Yeah, Liquid Sunray sells those little kits.
Yeah, they all do. Protan has them too.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some of the drawings that Blunt Force Tanya does on social media. If I ever decide to etch in my abs with an airbrush, I'm hitting her up.
I just shaved the hair around my stomach, and then it looks like abs.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Dorian Yates ripping into Mike Israetel this week?
Yes.
No, I saw a couple of Dorian. Dorian's making the rounds right now.
Yeah, Dorian's feeling saucy right now. he lit him up pretty good. I'm gonna play this one. I love. Full disclosure, I'm probably biased when it comes to Mike. I like Mike a lot, and I run his training program. And Mike's name's kind of been. People have been going after Mike lately.
Yeah, they pile on. I added him in a post, just his name. I
saw you did, man. I'm sure you got a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for jumping on a guy when he's, but I mean, the guy puts out a lot of content. The majority of it is very good. You know, he's educated. You know, whether his PhD thesis is stellar or not, it's a friggin' PhD thesis. You put that, you know, you don't get to that point without spending a lot of work and effort and study.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Dorian. I think Mike said something that was something to the extent that he was bigger and better than Mike Menser. And
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to stomach.
yeah, Dorian was like, I don't know about that one. Let me see if I can get this to play.
You just,
Hang
that's
on.
tough on the
First
internet
of
because
all,
there's
I
photos,
hope that you're
so
being
they
like
can find the best
tongue-in-cheek,
photo, Mike.
kind of humorous. Otherwise, I fear either for your eyesight or your mental health, because obviously your physique's nowhere near Mike Mensa, even with all the PEDs that you're taking, that you estimate will take 10 years off your life. Well, maybe you need to ask yourself whether it's worth it, mate, because a bag of shit that gets bigger is just a bigger bag of shit. Still a bag of shit. You know what I mean, mate?
Yikes.
Okay.
Burn.
All righty then.
I thought when I first saw it that it was AI because it looks AI generated. It's got like some hitches in it, but
Oh,
Dorian
yeah,
posted it on his page. So, like, I think it was Fakri Mubarak had it up, and I said something like, "Dude, I think that's AI," and he's like, "Nope, it's not AI. It's on Dorian's page, even if it is."
Yeah, he
And I'm like,
agrees with that regardless.
That's a good piece of advice though. If you got a fat client, like, listen,
Yeah.
you look like X.
How old is Dorian, by the way? 60?
60s, mid 60s, I think.
Okay. You know how there's that theory of the is it your frontal cortex that changes as you age and makes you self-edit less? You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe
yeah,
that's part of it.
That's
right?
everyone.
I think they
everyone.
call
Right.
I think they call that
Mhm.
not giving a fuck.
Yeah, you give them all. I mean, you run out eventually.
There was this other one too about reps in reserve, which
Oof.
it was pretty hilarious. If I can, that he had up.
Larry thinks Mike is objectively height per pound bigger and stronger than Mike was.
That's the thing. It's actually. I mean,
Probably.
Mike Mendenhall wanted to like nail it. He really picked a perfect thing because it is technically true. I'm sure he weighs more. You know.
Yeah.
And then also there's pictures of Mike not looking good, and there's pictures of Menser looking incredible, and those are the pictures that people are going to compare. So he got a lot of. I mean, from any news is good news standpoint, or he got a lot of bang for his buck out of that statement.
Yeah.
And talking to people that knew Mike, that they said he was fat and smoking cigarettes Mike Menser most of the year.
Watch any of those Knowles videos. He's drinking a Modelo half the time.
Man.
Yeah, good for him.
He would just crank it up and get in shape.
Yeah, like Mike Quinn was the same way. I heard stories of him guest posing at 8 weeks out at everything I'm sure is exaggerated, but at 20% body fat, and then he comes in the New York Pro and wins or something. It's like those guys.
Some people are just gifted. I mean, what's his name? Kevin Levrone. He would be like that. He would just get skinny. You'd see him because he was a local guy, and I'd see him around once in a while, and I'm like, that's him. It's like 200 pounds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you'd see him 8 weeks later, and dude would be 250, ripped.
That's insane.
I'm like, how does that happen?
Yeah,
I do train with some reps in reserve, but I used to train, with the hardcore Dorian style training. But I did find this one was fucking hilarious. I thought it was funny.
In summer, you're a big fan of reps in reserve training. Can you give us a bit of insight on that?
Yeah. Because I don't like.
What are your views on it?
I don't like it when the muscle starts burning and I feel uncomfortable. I think that's not good for you.
No, you
should put the weight down at that point. Yeah, because I mean, who wants to be uncomfortable? It can't be good for you, can it? No.
That clearly doesn't
Reps in reserved. We've got a different term for that in England. It's called a wanker's workout. It's very technical, an English term. You can look it up if you like. My friends from America don't quite understand what a wanker is. It's people that do reps in reserve.
Yikes. One guy.
And Dorian has the right to say that.
Dorian can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dorian can say whatever he wants. He was my favorite bodybuilder growing up, to be honest with you.
Blunt Force Tanya just commented what the exact thing is. that's what in any conversation on the internet now, that's what you have. You have one person saying something.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's binary.
They mean
It's
something.
intentionally mistranslated to be funny.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that's why I stay out of the training stuff. I
Mhm.
think it's awesome that there's so much research and training right now because there wasn't historically, and it's really interesting to see it play out. But it's too toxic for me. Every week there's a new theory, and it's the only theory that works. And
Yeah.
Well, it's typical.
My question is,
Go ahead.
my
What's
question
that?
was, who do they select for the training? Like, is somebody looking at the people and they're like, this guy looks like he might be on gear. I want him to do the training. Like,
That's the thing, and there's
That's
and then
my role.
all they can really track is myofibrillar growth. Like mechanical. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, they're saying mechanical tension is the only thing that. But 70% or more of your muscle mass is non-contractile tissue.
Non-contractile. That's my argument.
And PEDs directly facilitate that area of growth in several ways that's completely independent of of resistance training. So there is a lot going on, but so I try to stay out of it because there's almost no way you can make any statement on training right now that can't be taken 100 different ways.
People get super emotional about stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't trained to failure in close to a decade. I used to be hardcore. I did DC training when I was younger, and I would say, if anybody wants to come train with me, I think I trained pretty hard. And I got quite big training the way I did. But the way I look at it, you've got, and this is what I always tell people, you got a couple knobs you can turn on the training. You have intensity, you have volume, you have frequency, and if you crank one way up, you got to adjust the others down. It's just it's just the way it is.
I think another way of looking at it is everyone talks about there's science-based lifting, bro-based lifting, and it's like everyone forgets that we're all for some result is our goal. Result-based lifting. And it's going to be different. If your result goal is strength, it's an entirely different approach than if your result goal is to be a bodybuilder or hypertrophy or and there's it's like sometimes when I see those videos, I'm like, did anyone stop and say, am I getting the end results that the science says I should? Because a lot of them don't seem like they are, and it's like you just keep doubling, and that might be the best approach, and the data currently shows that's the best approach. But in the end, we're doing it for the result of that approach, and that's all that matters.
I don't doubt it, Tanya. Tanya is intense.
She sounds fun.
Yeah,
I need to go see her.
We need to get Tanya.
We need to get her on the show too.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I've been playing around with social media lately. I've been trying to grow my reach a little bit more, and seeing what content people engage with. And I made a list of things that I think that deliberately piss people off and drive more engagement. And I played around with putting some positive and negative posts up, and it's hilarious. The ones like, I don't even have to say anything crazy, but like the list that I came up with, if I post from that list and just say something just a little controversial, it's hilarious. Like I put one up the other week. I put one up about, I put a cyclist up showing his big legs, and I said, people say the volume doesn't work.
Yeah. I knew that was going to get engagement.
Well, no, you've got a great one right now. You've got Dorian and Mike Israel. You can go, one guy trained to failure. You picture Dorian rates, and then boom, Mike Israel. This guy didn't. Who are you going to believe?
The hilarious thing was, and then I put up a positive one about how to train, and how it makes your life better, and you learn, bodybuilding, how it makes you learn how to, work hard at everything. And the negative one had double the amount of views and 5 times the engagement of the negative one. It's hilarious, but
yeah, you can almost
Human
target
nature.
share words. You can add one word somewhere and like double the number of times it's shared. There's so many triggers. People really are sheep at the end of the day.
It's hilarious. I made this post the other day about I came up with my list of topics that trigger people, and I had statins, keto, carnivore diet, seed oils, HIIT training, reps and reserve, carbs and insulin, calories and calories out, training volume, intensity, cold plunges, Mike Mincer, primo versus mass, generics versus pharma, microdosing, butter, salt intake. And what was hilarious, I said these are what trigger people, and I had people triggered in the comment section.
They lit up.
About what triggers people.
Butter.
People get very passionate about butter.
with this ongoing debate though about like scientific base lifting versus I don't know, I guess just flat out tough guy lift all you can until you die type workouts that was popular back when Dorian Yates was
Still popular.
young and competitive. It's the same thing. I've seen it in a lot of different organizations that I've been involved with. You have these sort of new ideas coming in against the old guard who's going, well, that's not the way we've always done it. And this is not what it is. And I think it's great that someone's actually having the conversation. And when it becomes contentious and something that people want to talk about on social media, just to be part of the conflict, at least we're sort of raising the awareness around, okay, there's a different way to train where maybe you're not going to be so susceptible to injury. But, on the same token, it's like, if you've never trained a failure, you have no business trying to tell me about RIR,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you got to know where the limit is, right? So that you can then.
I will say
It's
this.
very simple. Okay.
You've been to many bodybuilding shows. The guys that were the hardcore training dudes, you go to a bodybuilding show and you see the 50-year-old plus bodybuilders walking around. Those are the dudes that are cripples.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and I see a guy like Jay Cutler who was 4 sets of 10. What was it? Four exercises, 4 sets of 10. That's what he did his whole career. That guy, I just saw him last week. He did volume, man. That's what.
Well, he definitely did volume, but he was coached by Steve Shaw. He's one of those guys on the show talking about it. He did start with failure training. He just got to a certain point where you start breaking the legs.
Yeah, but I mean, I've talked.
But no,
to
you
Jay.
can do anything. Yeah, you can do anything. In my opinion.
I've talked to Jay personally, and he said that he almost never used more than 100-pound dumbbell on presses. That's literally what he said. And that's, look, I think there is a time you need to train hard, but it seems like everybody's turning on the science-based people right now, and I think it's because they've gotten pretty much insufferable.
They have, yeah. But I mean, again, all that matters is the results, and so that's the science, intensity, failure, whatever. If you're getting results, that's what matters. And it's like we love getting so lost in the weeds that we forget that. We do that with every aspect. You see guys designing a cycle, and it's like, well, what's the goal at the cycle? And they're like, well, this combines with this, and I'm doing this to. So I know the chemistry of it, but do you put any thought into what your goal outcome is for this cycle, so then you can track if you target those goals, because no one does. It's like everyone's got, I'm here, where's my camera? I'm here, and I want to get to here, this path, and after so many days or weeks or months pass, am I still on that trend line? And we, like most of us, never stop and think. We always have these big lofty goals, and we never track our progress. Are we on pace to reach those goals? Yes. In the year 30,000, then we're not on pace anymore. And that's, the science lifting. I love all the research right now, but
I do too.
Yeah, it just seems like people forget that the reason we're doing it is the results, and so if you're a science-based guy, make sure you're still a results-based guy. If the science approach gives you the results, that's even better, because then you get to do what you love and get the results you want.
Yeah, Jared's been coaching Nick, and they've had some pretty good results.
Yeah, I would say I had pretty good results with the RP style training. And in defense, I did, Dante Trudell trained me when I was younger, and I did his style of training for a long time. And I did make I got strong as fuck doing DC training. I'll tell you that.
Training works.
So
yeah,
all training works.
Yeah, I was for a while, for the last year or so, before I did the high volume training that I'm doing now under you, Paul. I did the JP style to failure. What is it? Upper, lower, 1 day on, full body. And I will say this, at age 50 plus, let's not get specific, but at 50 plus, I had aches that never went away after a year or two. By changing just simply to the high volume training, like my shoulders are at 100% mobility now. I can sleep. So not only, to Justin's point, not only are we tracking towards that goal, but our goals and our cells also shift underneath. So there's at least 2 vectors right there that you have to kind of like keep track of. And it's been very much a learning experience, how you change and how you train when you're 20 or 30 versus 50 is worlds apart. Definitely. At least
that's actually that's a good point on the changing goals too, is make sure you enjoy what you're doing, because whatever your goals are, if you hate what you're doing on the path to the goals, you don't meet the goal, you don't get to your goal, not because you've quit because you don't enjoy what you're doing, because goals change. We never reach our goals, because by the time we get to what our goals was 10 years ago, our goals shifted. It's either moved higher or shifted to the side, and so you got to love what you're doing in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. Like, so in my case, it was like I could see the results, but there was like that associated pain because of that style of training. And it was that whole mental thing of like, yeah, I'm getting the results, so I'll just endure, rather than thinking, wait, there's a more efficient way to do this, which is, again, to Justin's point.
I think it evolves too as you get when you're younger. That's the time to test your limits and go after it. I mean, you can't, like, I've talked about this a million times. Like, I wouldn't go out and play a backyard tackle football game at 50 years old and think I was going to be okay, right? I mean, I don't know why you would think you can.
Depends who you're playing against.
If it's 12-year-olds,
you don't want the 12-year-olds. You want the toddlers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing in jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't go hard at it like I would when I was in my 20s. Like, it's you adjust based on where you're at in life. Like, I don't know why guys think they should train in their 50s like they did when they were 21. It's you're taking more of a risk, and it's just, I don't know.
Also,
I think
it's also the because it's a routine. Remember, humans don't like change. We don't like change.
Yeah.
We don't like having to measure variables out all the time. That's why all these arguments become binary, because people love a yes or no. Yes, you're right. No, you're wrong.
How does Amy like to train?
I train as hard as I possibly can and still recover from.
Gotcha. I mean, whatever, failure or volume, or you have anything particular, or just?
Well, I have a coach who programs my training, but I try to train as hard as I can within the intensity that we're looking for. I'm also right now, 2 weeks out from a show. So when my coach tells me I need to pull it back a little bit, like, I pull it back a little bit, even if I'm feeling really good. So, but in my off season, I'm gonna train as hard as I can, logically, and like within what I know my own limits are for recoverability, based on what my input is, how I'm doing, how I'm growing.
I'll tell you something about me. I'll tell you something about me too. It's personality. Like, guys that do lower volume, 3 days a week, hardcore, and being in the gym, I would go. That would drive me nuts. I love being in the gym. I just love being in the gym, and I need. It's part of my life. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. I went like a 2-year stretch without taking a fucking rest day. I trained 7 days a week for like 2 years straight.
Yikes.
Goals.
Yeah, I mean, I just like probably why I have shoulder surgery, but
22 hours a day.
Working on that myself.
Yeah.
Working on that myself.
but so I need to train a style of training that is I can make work within what I like to do. So that obviously I can't go balls to the wall, all out failure, heavy compound movements, and train 7 days a week. That would not work unless you're Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
And then you can do it.
I
train
think
both hard and frequent and with the volume.
I was going to mention one thing too. I think one thing to consider too is, when people put the argument up, like it has to be black and white of volume versus high intensity, lower rep training, let's call it. I don't see the problem with having a little bit of a mixture, because I certainly, you have to consider certain body parts are not going to require higher intensity. Like, I'm not progressing my bicep curl every week looking for another rep.
No.
I'm trying to emphasize the, tension under the muscle and trying to make sure that I'm fully engaged into that and I'm not wasting my time. So like certain body parts can kind of be trained differently. You might train your back differently than you can train your arms, as well as your you might need volume. You find you respond better to shoulders than you, but high intensity works good on your quad work or whatnot. So
you have to remember again, like with the goal, like if you like progressive overload, there's certain movements that just kind of that work perfectly for it. Like if you're doing a deadlift or something, the way to lift the most weight in a deadlift is to maximize the amount of load that's placed on the erectors. So if you're training deadlifts for back, if you're getting stronger, you're almost by definition using the correct muscles. Now, if you take a dumbbell curl, if I'm doing the 50s this week, and I got stronger and I want to increase, I have to go to the 55s. That's a 10% increase.
Yeah.
That'd be like if I'm deadlifting 605, and so the next week I do 665, or 670 or whatever. It's like that's a big jump. So you're not going to be able to progressive overload properly for biceps, because to get those 55s, what you're going to do is use the biceps even less, because you're going to swing the weight, incorporate other muscle groups, and so now you've got stronger on the move on the exercise, but not because the muscle got stronger. So it's like that's another variable to consider. Are you training a movement or are you training a muscle? If you're a power lifter, you're training a movement. All that matters is you get stronger in that position through space. If you're training chest, all that matters is that a load gets placed on the chest. It doesn't matter what the movement is. You can invent a new. If you have some weird ass biomechanical structure, or if you stand on your hands, and kick your feet back and forth, it targets 100% of the load on your upper chest or something. That's your upper chest movement. It's not going to. But that people forget that also. So you're not training a movement unless you're competing in weightlifting and powerlifting. If you're trying to build a muscle, you're training a muscle. So there's a lot of things to consider, which is why you're never going to get a black and white answer on this is the best training, because there's just too many things going on.
Yeah. And also the ability to get that mind muscle connection, definitely depending on what you're targeting, there are certain muscles that within 3-4 reps, I've got that connection. I can feel it. There are other ones that take me like 10 reps to really feel that connection. It's just the way it is, So
one of the most captivating parts of the sport for me is the fact that it is always test and tune, right? And Gonzo's right. Humans don't like change, but we're already a little, different than human as bodybuilders anyway. And I love to change things based on collecting data points, first of all, that matter, and then make changes based on that. That's part of the appeal for me.
Yeah. And not falling in love with a certain movement that's not working for you.
I really have tried to challenge myself. That was one of the big things I really have tried to do over the last 5 years, is challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone, try new things, and use and try to maximize every approach I possibly could to get the gains that I was looking for. I don't mean to sound like a fucking braggart, but I think from 45 to 50, I made about as much progress as anybody on the planet.
For sure.
And it was optimizing everything. Really the carb cycling approach that I learned from you, Justin, that was out of my comfort zone. I did a lot of keto diets and shit like that when I was younger. Backing off the intensity a little bit and putting a little more volume, that was out of my comfort zone. One of the things I did learn from Mike Israetel is to take a hard look at exercises and look at basically the cost versus benefit of exercise. Am I actually getting the type of stimulus out of this exercise that warrants using it? Evaluate that versus the risk associated with that exercise versus the fatigue that exercise.
The fatigue. It's so taxing that it ruins the rest of the workout. It might be a
systemic fatigue versus local. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, so you think about it like a deadlift for a 45-year-old guy is extremely taxing and has a huge fatigue cost to it. Would I be better off doing 4 or 5 sets of braced rows versus 1 set of balls out deadlifts? I don't know. I mean, that's an evaluation.
Even if you're better on deadlifts for that movement, maybe that particular exercise deadlifts are better for you. But what about the other exercises? Are you able to even train lats properly because you're so exhausted from that?
You're so burnt. And you have more gas in the tank when you're 22 versus 52 too. There is
but
that.
That's why you have to train toward your goal, and that's what makes it different. That's why I went, Josh, with that question, what my goal is right now, my training looks different than it does in the off season. And that's true with age. That's true with every stage. As bodybuilders, we are training in a physique sport. So like Justin said, it's not like powerlifting. We're actually training to look a specific way. So if the workout we're doing is preventing us from being able to work other muscles that we need to work efficiently, well, then that maybe isn't the right move at the right moment.
And if we really strip it down to its core, if we think about it, this is kind of the way I look at training. Our job as physique athletes, as bodybuilders, is really to, if assuming that mechanical tension truly is the primary root motivator for hypertrophy, then our goal should be to maximize mechanical tension our lifts, and optimized form and exercise selection that is maximizing mechanical tension on the muscle that we're trying to target and create a stimulus for growth. I mean, really, when you think about it, that's really what it boils down to. And then you weigh in the fatigue costs and the injury risk injury risk is a huge thing I think about a lot now, because it becomes more of a thing that you have to consider as you get older. Because if, like they say in the NFL, can't make the club in the tub. So I mean, if you go in and balls out on a set of deadlifts or squats and you're banged up and can't train for 4 weeks, you're not going to be growing.
Yeah.
So that's a consideration that you have to evaluate. So your training needs to be sustainable, and you need to provide a proper stimulus for growth. Really, that's I don't know. That's kind of the way I look at it at this point.
It is fun to lift really heavy though too.
Oh no, believe me, I love.
Sometimes it's just fun to get in there and rip it.
Yeah, believe me, it's hard for me. I like being a savage. I get tempted. I go in there and I'll look at the bench press some days and I'll be like, yeah, I think I could still move 405.
Deadlifts used to be my thing.
A couple weeks.
It used to be my thing to just like try and max that out, and then age kind of got to me, and I'm like, what's my payoff here? It's not as good.
I'm still that guy. I go to the gym and pull off the 125s. That's the heaviest dumbbells we got, and just do crunch of croc rows in front of everybody, and then just leave.
Yeah, yeah. There's something satisfying, and it's completely selfish and egoistic. But when you start pulling like a heavy deadlift, and you can tell that people are looking at you, and you're, in my case, you're a smaller guy, and you can pull a decent amount of weight. Seeing people going like, and he's old, so But then the ego hurts, though. Ego hurts.
We're almost an hour deep, and I haven't even talked about Martin beating Samson last week.
Oh man!
You guys know I'm a Martin fan, but man, was that an awesome battle! That was so fun to watch. I think next year, forget the Arnold. We all need to go to Prague.
Man, Martin was just on. There's some of those pics from that
So
show are
good.
remarkable. Yeah.
He was full. He was so composed too. I think to me the biggest difference in Martin from last year to this year is his composure.
He walked out on stage and he just his attitude was like, I'm winning this fucking show. He knew it.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure that because the Olympia had to boost his confidence. And then when you look like that,
wow. Seriously.
Take no prisoners.
Incredible look.
Well, and Samson actually looked better than he did at the Olympia, and Martin still handed it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. Yep.
Yeah.
Who designed this setup, by the way? Were they bodybuilding in hell? Was that the theme here? Like the red backdrop, the red carpet.
I mean, that does sound cool, Amy. So maybe that's pretty freaking awesome, actually.
I tell you what, the IFBB has got a serious issue with lighting. They need to have enforced standards with lighting and backdrops at their shows. It needs to be consistent across the NFL. That's a big fucking thing in the NFL. They'll come out before games. They inspect everything. They make sure that the lighting, everything is set up to a certain specification. It's been terrible this year.
Well, when you really think about it, the IFBB, it's for a visual sport that's essentially 100% visual. I feel like they treat everything visual. It's the way they handle photography. You go to a state show, it's better now, but it used to always be one local guy who did video. You weren't allowed to video. You'd get a VHS tape a year later that was all blurry and they don't. It's almost impossible. Like if you're filming a movie about the sport, it's almost impossible to get access to anything to promote the sport. You can you imagine if the PGA didn't if you never got to see videos of golfers golfing, that every other sport that isn't a visual sport is basically driven entirely by media content that if you want to get any of that in the bodybuilding world, you feel like you're on a clandestine mission sneaking around, hoping you don't get caught trying to promote the sport. And so just every aspect of visual stuff is exactly, that the lighting isn't standardized, that they don't have a whole team specializing on that at least the Olympia and the Arnold. I'm sure they have a lighting team, obviously, but one that's specialized in what this lighting is used for, not acting on a stage. It's a purely visual, look. Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's
whatever they
pretty
did,
cool.
whatever they do at the Olympia, that shouldn't be the standard. Um, I tell you that what they need to do, and I've talked to this dude, they just need to hand the keys over to the Gilco guy. Just say, you're in charge of all the lighting and photography for all of the IFBB. Make it happen. He did this. He did the stuff at the Tampa, and it was fucking excellent, man.
Yeah, it was outstanding lighting.
Yeah, it
So
was outstanding. He did all the video, he did all the photography, he did the lighting down there. And I talked to him before the show, and I think he's getting more of their trust. He's doing a lot of the stuff, but I mean, like, they just need to tell that dude, just, you're in charge, and set some standards across all the shows, because there's been quite a few. What was the last show? The one that was a week or two ago, where Samson and all the guys competed. That one was terrible.
Yeah.
Prague. Yeah, that was Prague. It was awful.
Prague.
It was bodybuilding in hell.
Well, the one before that.
Mexico.
Yeah, it looked. Yeah, it was the Mexico. Sorry, it didn't even look like they even had stage lights. They just used the hotel overhead lighting. Man, it was fucking terrible.
It seems like I don't know anything about lighting. Paul, you would probably be good at that, actually. But you can look back at like the '99 British Grand Prix and what the lighting was like there. It was a little too spotlighty overhead, but you basically take that, add a little front lighting so it's not overly, shadowed. And because I feel like if anyone else who's been backstage at a big pro show or walking around or working with the top, when you know what they really look like in person, and then you see on stage, it's like, man, the audience, the fans, if you really like what Martin probably looked in person, as insane as he looked there, in person, like, it's a different level. It's like they're not wearing skin.
Yeah. So I want to show you this from the Mexico Pro. This is embarrassing, man. Look at this. This is Tonio. He won.
Yeah, and he was in shape. Well, decent.
I mean, he won. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, that shouldn't be allowed.
No.
Yeah.
Geez, I didn't even see hardly any pics from that.
Well, the blue worked out better for him than the red would have. It definitely didn't do Samson any favors at the Prague either.
No, I mean, but Mark, even with the shitty lighting, when you look good in the shitty lighting, you got stuff locked up. I mean,
Tanya, it's like the lights broke. It did look like there were just no lights at all. Yeah.
I tell you, man, kind of stood out to me, and he got 5th place, but is that young kid, the Spanish dude, that I can't even pronounce his name, Yon Perales or something like that.
Yes. He looked incredible.
That dude, Jesus Christ, man, that dude is a horse.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Like Jeff Long.
Look at that guy.
It's like he's photoshopping his head small.
Wow.
That's crazy.
How old is he?
In his 20s.
He's got a little imbalance on his leg. If his left leg, when you go on straight, is smaller.
His left arm too. I wonder what kind of nerve stuff's going on. His front eye, you can really see his left arm.
He had some pictures up from a couple years ago. The progress he's made over the last couple of years is just insane. I'm going to see if I can find it. I'll look for it, but it is just nuts, the progress that dude has made.
Yeah. Yeah, he's competing again last night in Poland. It looked like him and Andre Presti battling out for first place for the Poland show.
Yeah, here. Let me pull this one up. This is crazy. This one is this one is nuts. Let me bring this up. Look at that on the left.
Wow.
Wow.
He's made a little progress.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And when was that? Yeah, that was a couple years ago. That's crazy, man. Some people just have it. I mean, but he is massive.
Well, he looks natural in that first pick, and he's a big dude there. I wouldn't not be surprised if he was, but you can see on that pick.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's off season.
Yeah, he
does kind of have that
quad
big
sweep.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, he's got like if he can keep his waist, you know, from growing, he's got really good structure. I mean, that left arm, it only looked bad in the recent pictures though. In these older ones, he's even in off season. I wonder if it just like an area
Maybe had an injury or something.
Yeah.
It's possible.
You more or less just said the same thing I was going to say, Justin.
Sorry, I stole his thunder.
No, you're good.
Yeah. By the way, going back to that comparison of the left right side and my bicep tear, it actually changed the shape of my bicep, which is really weird.
Was it distal?
But it's better though. But it looks better than the other arm though. That's the sad
pretty
part.
common.
Did you tear up at the top or the bottom?
Yes, sir. Yep.
The top. Yeah, that's where it gives you that awesome peak.
Yeah. It all of a sudden, my wife's like, "That looks amazing." I'm like, "Oh, great! Now I've got to tear the other one."
I'll be curious to see how my bicep looks after everything's come back, because they pulled the tendons down, inserted like a good 2-3 inches lower than where it was at before.
And you're tall too, so you have that.
Yeah, I have very long, flat biceps. It should, in theory, it should peak more. I actually see the surgeon on Tuesday, so hopefully I'll have the all clear.
Nice.
Although I kind of cleared myself 3 weeks ago.
Self-diagnosis.
Well, it felt pretty good. You said when we were training down at my place. It felt like
Yeah, I mean, I've been I've been training at like half the weights I was using before, but I just reintroduced the movement patterns just to kind of get myself back in, and then I'll ramp things up. I need to check in with you at some point, Justin, and actually start following a diet again.
Let's go.
Hey, I got a question for you, Gonzo. Though, when before your tear, before that tore on you, did you have sensations of like pain in the shoulder, or were you saying
no? I was doing a cable curl with very moderate weight, not particularly. Now this was what, 3 weeks ago, roughly. So 5 weeks out from.
Oh, hold on.
Huh?
Do you train to failure or do you train for volume?
For volume. Like I said, moderate weight, just going for that, pump,
So we can derive from this is that volume tears muscles.
Volume kills muscle, guys. You gotta go failure.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
And it was one of those like I remember I'm new to the contest prep experience, so my power level was definitely down from what I'm used to. You're starved, you're not calorically there. But there was no strain, but it did feel like imagine if you had a flesh zipper going zip. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, you tore the muscle belly, not the tendon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a different thing.
So
yeah.
Whatever it was, but it literally felt like that, like rip. And then I just looked at it and I'm like, that's not good.
Speaking of risk profiles, I think cable curls are one of those higher risk profile exercises. Just saying.
For sure.
Yeah, because there's so much resistance on the way down. Yep.
Which version, like the stretch back or the just regular?
A standing, like a is it English?
Bayesian, I think.
What you mean? Bayesian curl.
Something like that.
Curl,
those are
okay. So stretch position your bicep behind you.
Correct.
Okay, that's the one you.
Yeah,
but
my surgeon told me that preacher curls or anything that stretches the bicep out at a fully extended position. He said pull downs are also very dangerous because guys, he said you should not let your elbow lock out and fully stretch at the top of pull downs.
No, because you're just pushing the ligament at that point. No, you're right.
Yeah. He said it's putting a lot of pressure on the tendon. He was saying that's, and he also said that full extension on preacher curls is very dangerous.
Yeah, I would never do full. Yeah, no, that's how part of my problem was I did full extension on preacher curls, so I let my elbow come all the way down and pop up a little bit. So now I just basically
I guess we should take some questions, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we only have a couple. Yeah, we only have a few.
Has anybody been listening to all the hubbub with Kyle and Nick Walker?
Oh yeah, it's been going back and forth.
Absolutely.
No, but it's sure it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, breakups are tough.
Nick Walker should hire his mom.
Yikes.
Breakup. I mean, I gotta be careful what I say, but yeah, I understand why the breakup happened. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
No, and sometimes, maybe it's the human drama. We like drama, as humans. We like the emotional aspect, but sometimes things just don't work out. And it's a professional thing. It's like, look, your method and my method, they're not compatible. Shake hands and we move off,
I thought Nick was pretty respectful about it. He just
Right.
said he's moving on, and that was it. Disagreed with the approach, and it seemed like
Right.
Well,
I
Kyle
understand
was
why.
too initially. I mean, at first he kind of took responsibility for everything and said, "Hey, I've never done a 2-day show. I kind of screwed this one up." And then after the hubbub started, like every podcast you hear him on, he seems to be complaining about the whole thing. So
Well, clearly some feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
And yeah, that happens. I'll be honest with you, man. Even when I'm prepping somebody for a local show and I feel like I've given them my all and done my best for them, I get my feathers get a little ruffled when they bail on me afterwards. I'm like, motherfucker, man, I worked my balls off for you.
Yeah, it's hard. It's tough.
Seriously, I was texting you at 1 a.m.
Yeah. I've had people leave because they with 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. text,
those are booty call texts
the last 3 or 4 days, and then and wanting more from their coach or more care. And it's like, that's all I can give. I'm sleeping in 2-hour stints and working through the night, but yeah.
I will say this from the athlete's perspective, and I know this from God, I did 50 plus preps this year. The most likely time you're going to get fired as a coach is post show.
Yeah.
That's when, because people are disappointed.
And there's also poachers. I mean, every local coach is there telling the client all the things that they could do better and how your coach doesn't care for you. I'll fluff you up before the stage. I'll be there in the morning cooking your breakfast.
Well,
they'll offer anything. Some of the things I see offered are pretty.
I'm with Josh. This sounds vaguely romantic and weird.
We started with loads on the chest, and now we're on this. I'm like, come on, guys.
I've seen it firsthand at the national shows. There are poachers that run around the national shows talking shit.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand, and I'll say this: if your coach has so much time on their hand that they can personally be there, and be with you every step of the way, they're probably not coaching that many people and probably aren't that great.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah, I mean, you got to do, like, coaches are expensive. They are, but it's hard. If you do the numbers, or when, like, if you travel to a client's show, if a client pays you $1,000 for prep, you can easily spend more than $1,000 between flight, hotel room, food to be at their show.
Sure.
And a lot of clients will think, and you as a coach, you try to be at as many as you can, local and big national shows, pro shows, but it's hard, and you spend a lot on travel, and very often, if you're traveling, you won't make money. If you have a client and you travel to their show only for that client, you're losing money by you're paying to coach that client. There's a time and place, and you need, as a coach, you need to be there in person. You need to meet people, and you need to present yourself also. So you can view it however you want. But yeah, it's a tightrope.
Well, I mean, I feel like with the national shows and the pro shows that I should probably be there just for nothing else for marketing.
Yeah.
But like I was at the Tampa Pro this year. Did I tell you what the backstage passes were there?
Yes.
It was like $800.
That's insane. It's so outrageous now, and they're just going to keep going until they find a breaking point. And
you know what it is. You know what it is at the I think Masters Nationals. It was what, $300 a day, something like that. 200, 200 a day.
My first backstage pass was $50. $50 cash, got a little stamp on my hand.
And then on top of it, you have to buy the tickets to watch the prejudging and finals. That doesn't include that.
What year was that, Justin?
Oh, it's like 2004, 2005-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like 100 years ago. I mean, it was a long time ago, but
it's 25 years ago.
$850 in 2005 isn't $800 a day. I can tell you that much.
What's crazy how these national shows have grown since then. I remember like the early 2000s, there'd be like less than 100 people at a national show.
They're enormous. They're week-long events now.
Well, what did they say? There was over, I mean, shit, at Masters Nationals, there was something like 400 bikini competitors.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many
Mm,
people.
Just bikini.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tanya, you are correct. You do have to have an active membership to get a backstage pass as well.
Yeah,
I would
that
say
too.
at every show.
Yeah, I
every
forgot
weekend.
about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amy, I just noticed your
Fan
shirt.
friendly.
That is fucking fantastic.
I know every time I glance over, I think that's your hands. It takes me a second every time.
I feel like I might be that skeleton at this moment, but
I don't
my
know what
hands
it
have a
says
little
about
more
me
heft
that I've
than that.
made it an hour into the show, and I just noticed that.
I was
I
trying.
mean, I'm pretty
I
disappointed
want
in
to be
you.
appropriate.
That was the first thing I noticed. What's wrong with you guys?
It's pumpkin season. It's fall. I can't drink a
Promise.
pumpkin spice latte. This is the most
Amy's getting
pumpkin
her
I can
pumpkin.
get. Yeah.
The boys in the comments section will love it. All right, let's answer some
Load on the
questions.
chest. I called it. Okay, go
Let's
ahead.
answer some questions. All right. The first question is from Gamboni Law. Great show. Have you found that a clean diet focused on whole clean foods leads to food intolerance to the point where eating out or a dirty cheat leads to digestion issues?
Yes.
Say,
Yes.
We're all going to say yes to that.
100%.
Yep.
I don't know if it's food intolerance or if you just always felt like shit when you were eating like that before and you notice it after you've eaten clean.
Because once you've eaten clean for a while, if you eat something real greasy, I mean, you feel like you got oil coating down your throat, and it's like it's a whole uncomfortable that you wonder, like, did I just never notice this? How is this? This is like a very obvious now. I mean, my hands are all greasy. My mouth feels all slimy. It just doesn't. You feel weird, but
Well, and your gut microbiome does shift based on what you're eating. So if you are not eating a lot of like highly processed shitty foods, and then you eat them in a big bolus, especially, like, yeah, you're gonna feel awful.
that's why
I think you just
keep
get used to.
two shitty meals in reserve every week.
Chick-fil-A
I think
makes you poop.
I think you just get used to feeling like shit, and then you realize after you eat clean that, hey, this is
I don't
what
have
I
to
used
feel
to feel
that
like
way.
all the time.
Yeah. I don't have to feel that way. I don't have to feel horrible. That's true.
I say this as I went face first into my kids' Halloween candy the other night.
Let's just say that high carb day was very convenient that it was Saturday. I'll just say that.
My diet has been so trash lately. I got to get back on track.
Don't let your coach hear that.
Well, he
right.
knows. He knows
I'm
what's
in the
up.
same
'cause
boat. Yeah, I'm in the same
when
boat.
I don't check, when you don't check in, any time a client doesn't check in, they're not following the diet.
Yeah, it's not a good check. Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I'm still pretty lean.
Yeah, I mean,
Your genetic gift.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll just say you
Mhm.
ate pretty healthy at my place.
I did not eat healthy at your place.
what I find weird is I find it's much easier to stay lean as I get older. I don't know if my appetite is just that much lower, but I always really struggled to stay lean. It felt like when I was younger, and I remember thinking like, oh man, once I get in my 40s, it's going to be a shit show. I'm going to be a fat mess. But I feel like it's been the opposite. I don't think my metabolism's better for sure, but yeah, that's crazy. 60 plus 20 bikini competitors. What's a bikini suit cost these days?
About $800 to $1,000
So there's
conservatively.
400 competitors.
Wow.
So yeah, just under
Really?
$500,000 in bikini suits that Masters National.
Yeah, and that's conservative. That's like you're getting a basic level one. And I mean, I'm sure Dave, the figure suits are probably even more than the bikinis.
I think what are
Plus $100 in
or-
heels,
like a sewing class.
$400 for hair and makeup.
I was complaining about
$50
$75
cheap
trunks. Jeez.
Mike, what was the registration fee for the national show? $400? 300? I think it was 400,
per
right?
class. I think it's 400 per
Really
class. when I
don't
was looking.
remember, man.
I think it's 400.
Yeah.
I think it's 400, and you get 1,100 competitors, 1,000
Plus
competitors.
crossovers, all the
Plus
crossover
can.
categories.
You can do the
Well,
math.
they're
there.
making money. I mean, they give away more pro cards at that show than anywhere, and they pay for each one of those. So
Yeah,
Tanya, I will tell you this. I would never recommend Angel Competition bikinis. If you wonder why, watch my last season prep vlogs. I have terrible feelings about them as a company.
All right, what do we got up next?
Next, we've got from Zionic. Hey, Mike, I just had a DEXA scan done, came in at 6.1% body fat after 539 days of work. Feeling great about the progress. I wanted to share that with you and the crew. He started out at 30.9%.
That's
Wow.
amazing, man.
killing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
Well done,
shit.
sir. Well done.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy, man.
incredible.
Yeah, big kudos to you, dude. You got to post some.
Have you
before
added
and after
HGH
pictures.
yet? No, Zionic, seriously, he doesn't do HGH yet, as far as I know.
He's going to have an awesome build then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. From Larry, he said, for the
Larry.
Q&A, just finished my 8-week rebound. I'm up just over 20 pounds, up to 600 grams of carbs on training days with 2 1,200-gram high days. Larry, that's incredible. Still super lean, yeah. So lots of off-season runway remaining. During upcoming HRT phase, stay with carb cycling or lower amounts in calories by approximately how much?
Larry was carb conservative, and I talked him into the dark side, Justin. I'm like, go for it, man.
I mean, 1,200 grams of carbs. That's incredible. I'd eat a whole bag of candy corn. It'd be amazing.
I told him to find where the limits are at, and he just got bigger.
Yeah, it's amazing what some guys, how they respond, where you can get their metabolism. I mean, a lot of guys, it stops being, it starts running away. Your metabolism does that, runs away.
Yeah, mine does that.
Your biggest worry is that it just starts climbing so much you can't get any more food down them.
I want to have that problem. I want to have that problem soon.
I'll say this, like out of my clients, out of the 50 or so preps I did this year, there was maybe like 2 or 3 people that are like that.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. Yeah, it's about maybe 2%, 2-3%. Maybe less than 5 for sure.
Yeah, it's uncommon. But yeah, Larry was super fucking lean and depleted at a show, and I'm like, dude, just go balls to the wall. Yeah, during the cruise, I don't know how you handle it, Justin, but usually I'll have people pull down to 1 high day and I'll maybe dial the food back a little bit.
Pretty much the same. I used to just drop to 1 high day by default, but then I'd run into enough people whose metabolism seemed to keep up and we just kind of flatten out, which wasn't the goal. And so now I generally keep the same diet week 1 of the cruise because the gear's leaving your system. So it's not till the end of that week till you're really truly on cruise. And then we see where you're at, and then we decide on the adjustments. That's kind of what I've been doing. But it typically basically stays same off-season diet, just less high days per week.
I'm so ready to go back on a cycle. I've been cruising for 10 months.
Got to do an Arnold cycle. You got 16 weeks, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's like I go back and forth. Like if I'm lifting half the weights I was before, I don't know that it makes a whole lot of sense to blast a bunch of gear right now.
You don't need much. I did my first one before not this summer before at the end when I first bought my partner at Tripone Supplements. It'll be, if our documentary ever comes out, you'll see. But it was everything I'd hoped it to be and more. It was like a baby cycle, but I hadn't done anything since COVID really. And it was every single day I'd wake up and look different. You're gonna have some fun.
I just been running 200 milligrams of testo since whatever the Arnold was, I came out down to cruise. So I guess about 8 months. So 300 milligrams of just test, or no, 200 milligrams of test. No GH. I laid off the GH because of my A1C. I wanted to let everything get back to baseline, but I just added in a little bit of Primo recently, just for basically an AI. So I'm doing 300 tests and 100 milligrams of Primo right now.
You want
D-ball. D-ball.
D-ball has a little power stack.
If I use D-ball, even though I've had gyno surgery, I will grow boobs faster than you can.
Switch to bikini.
My blood pressure will be 200 over 120, and I will have titties in about 6 weeks.
Machine just the preference reads error.
Honestly, at my age, the only oral I would ever fuck with right now, for the most part, would be Anavar. Maybe some A-bombs once in a blue moon.
You'll definitely do A-bombs.
But the issue I run into with the A-bombs is the acid reflux gets so bad. Like 4 or 5 days into it, I'm like, I feel like I'm burning a hole in my esophagus.
I get acid.
What type of antihistamines do you take?
Too, and switching to the injectable, I don't.
Yeah. All right, what do we got up next?
Next, we've got from Ivan. Do you guys ever turn down coaching someone because they have shit genetics?
No.
That's kind of mean.
You got to have good work ethic.
For the record, because almost everyone who inquires about coaching asks, and I've said this before, I'll personally work with anyone. I just want someone who's willing to work hard. You know,
Mhm.
it's almost all my favorite clients over the years have been someone who thought that, oh, I can't believe I thought, I want to meet your criteria or pass your test. So those are always because they want to work with you. They've been following you. They really like your approach, and they view it as this is their chance to really make the progress they've wanted to for years. So I imagine a lot of coaches are that way. I don't know, but I'll work with anyone as long as they want to work hard or willing to work hard.
I had remembered you from the message boards back in the day, Justin and Dante talking about you, and then you disappeared for a while, and then I saw you pop back up on Fuad's podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you were making your comeback in
Yeah,
coaching.
Fuad, man, I'm eternally grateful for Fuad. I don't know what it was about that podcast, but nothing I've done before, since, or has been anywhere even in the same world as far as growth. I mean, that might have been the only time I was turning on clients, because they were just piling out. I was getting like 10 a day for a while. And I don't know what it was about that podcast. It was just the perfect mix of people that either hadn't seen me in a while or never saw me before. Because I don't think it was a good podcast. I know it was one of my worst ones. I think we just came back from vacation or something. I kept I kept saying berberine, and when I wanted to say blood sugar, and then vice versa. And so, unless you kind of knew what I was meant to say, I was saying blood berberine with, blood berberine. I'm already doing it again. I don't even know what, but I would just say the wrong word. And it was like, I listened back and I couldn't even follow what I was saying, but it resonated for some reason.
Well, I was sold on eating more carbs. I'm like, let's go.
I need to go back and do a case study. Yeah, what were the trigger words? Was it more carbs? That's probably it.
Did you show the picture of yourself laying on the piano? Is that what did it?
Yeah.
Was that the cover shot?
That one? Oh God, my wife's family's been making fun of that photo for 20 years.
I know your wife sent it to me. She's like, "Have you seen this?"
Probably.
Can you show the class? I haven't seen it.
It's an old Kevin Levrone video or photo, but I won the Junior USA's. Dave Palumbo. If you find it, it's online, I'm sure. Dave Palumbo is like, "Hey, let's recreate this video." Well, Kevin pulled it off. I just look like I should the flamenco music should be playing. I should have a rose in my mouth, and I'm like,
it was right up there. It was like George Costanza level.
It's rough. Shoot. Oh, that's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like play almost.
It's rough. It's it's artfully done, I think.
It is. It's tasteful. It's very tasteful. Yeah.
All
right.
I want my man laying sideways, half naked on a grand piano.
It's going to be my inspiration for my next photo shoot. I'm going to be like, I want to recreate the Justin Harris a la 2010 or 2014. All right. From Brian Barber, we've got, does the panel think they should split the show up over 2 days? I thought maybe just judge everyone at finals so you only have to peak at one point of the day. I think we're talking about the Olympia, big shows that do two-day shows. Do we think they should be just one-day shows?
I don't know what you think, Justin, but I think it's easier to come back the next day than it is to come back in the evening.
I agree. And I think I think it's not good for the competitors. I think it's hard on the body, but I think I love 2-day shows. And you can ask Brandon at the Olympia. We even talked about it because I feel like I as confident as anyone could be on 2-day shows. I feel it better than even 1-day shows, if anything. If you know what you're doing, you just can't be dumb about things. You see some guys' peak protocols where it's like they start taking diuretics 5 days out and they're taking them every day, and then they dry out even harder for the prejudging. And yeah, that's tough. But if you know what you're doing, it's almost easy. You come in a little fuller at prejudging, and then you can you have in your back pocket will come drier at finals if that's what they want. If they like the full look, I bring the same look, and you have time to readjust, and you're not stuck with anything. You're not, if a guy goes out and eats a meal and then the finals gets rushed on the same day show, he might still have a stomach sick out at finals. You don't got to worry about that. You get a sleep to regroup with everything. I don't mind them at all. Oh, there we go.
I understand now.
Yeah. Your wife sent me an email, and it was about something about affiliate program, and it just said, "Meanwhile, while you're thinking about it, enjoy this picture."
Oh my God! I'm going to get divorced. So I'm sending that to you. At least it's blurry.
Fantastic.
That was
Sorry to blow you up.
It's not a gay photo. It's a. I didn't even get
One
paid.
thing,
No, it is. It is very gay.
one thing about
okay.
the 2-day thing
Don't
that
gay- yeah.
the 2-day thing at the Olympia, there were a lot of people that were saying that Hottie should have won at the Olympia. And if you look at the actual scoring, Hottie won finals.
Yeah.
Derek didn't win finals. Like, I don't think people understand that they don't. It's a combination of both prejudging and finals.
And most of the photos most people see photos from finals. I agree with that. Hottie did look really good at finals. At prejudging, I didn't. I mean, yeah, I thought some of his things that, like his left tricep has some issues. His quads needed to be fuller, and they just kind of stood out more at prejudging. He's always in shape, and so at first glance, when someone's really in shape, it always looks impressive. But and I hate being the you got to be there in person guy. But anyone who's watched shows in person and then went back and saw photos on Instagram later, it's always a different story.
Yeah, it's way different. It's way clearer in person.
Yeah, some of his side shots were better, but and every time they turn around though, and it was back to the audience, I mean, Derek was killing him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Derek, it was a weird Olympia because I thought it was actually a very good Olympia. I mean, as far you have 4 former Olympic winners there, but it was a weird one in that the favorites, a couple of the favorites came in off. But if you're coming in as a favorite, you're getting that first call out, and so when they drop back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever, right. and then the guys who weren't kind of in the talk going in, like Martin, even Brandon Curry. I thought Good Vito looked great. I mean, a lot of those guys, Tonio, and so those guys do really great, but there's only so far they can move up. And so you have this weird thing where it's like, it seems like all the guys that like were at the top, everyone was saying was out of shape and didn't look good, but they weren't at their peak compared to what they could have been. And then the guys that all the way down to the top 10, like Vito at 10, were dead on. And so you got the guys in like the second call out guys were all nailed it. The first call out guys, a lot of them were off. And so it makes it for this weird case where it looks like it was a kind of a down year, but it wasn't at all. I didn't think. I thought it was a very, very good Olympia from top to bottom.
Agreed.
All right. So the next one comes from Ray, Jedi Council. I've been diagnosed with AFib thanks to doctors allowing my blood pressure to run high for more than 10 years. Do any of you have experience with PED and AFib? I'm 50, not a bodybuilder.
Yeah, don't play around.
Yeah, I mean, did they say he was a pacemaker yet? You'll see a number. There's a number of guys, former.
There's a bunch of different. There's a bunch of different therapies they have for AFib now. They have the balloon surgery where you can't have a stroke. I recommend that if you can get it. You obviously a lot of people just have AFib and it's just kind of their normal thing. You could probably safely be on TRT, but you'd want to check with your doctors on that first.
Yeah,
because you're going to. I would say you got a lot of surgery you got to look at, and yeah, you're going to be on beta blockers, so training's going to be a lot harder. You're not going to have adrenaline to train as hard, but yeah, it's doable. A lot of people are like that. I've met several high level powerlifters that are like that, have AFib, but it's manageable. Just get it managed, and then worry about everything. But for the most part, if you just do TRT because that's what you're prescribed, then you'll be fine.
Josh is a medical professional. Yeah. This is not a medical advice.
It's not medical advice. It's just what I would do if I had AFib.
Be careful, my friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the water fluctuations. If you take something and you jump up 12 pounds of water weight, you're gonna that's gonna be a trigger. Yeah, so just be careful. Don't ask your doctor. Ask a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Let us
I love when I get.
Well, we are the specialists.
Sorry, there was a second half of his question.
Yeah.
He's only used low dose Deca, Anavar, and Primo. Those were the PEDs he's used. No to all of the above.
No, absolutely no. All of the above, no.
Yeah, I think Paul's advice of tread lightly was good. All right, the last one we've got is from Yosef. Should I be concerned with fasting blood glucose 92 to 100? Takes 5 IUs of GH at bedtime. After meals, it's fine. Dawn effect, etc. Yeah, that's
you want diabetes.
That's normal.
Fine. Yeah, good to
that's
go.
Normal.
Good to go.
You can bring it down, but
get your A1C tested. If your A1C is normal, that's fine. I'm a diabetic, and I'd be happy with the 92 to 100 fasting glucose level. I mean, you know, if you eat late, it could still be elevated from the night before, the food you ate from the night before. Get a CGM. If you're curious, you can get it's Lingo is the cheapest one. I think you can get a 3-month supply of it for like $250.
Are they? Is it how many testing? Are you just testing once, one and done? Because I see a lot of guys with GH that they'll get a reading like that, walk around for 5 minutes, kind of shake out the numb hands,
and it'll come down.
Yeah.
But are they wiping out the first drop of blood? That's your first step.
Yeah, there's several things. Yeah, but I just like guys on GH always seem to be slightly elevated the first 5 minutes of waking up. It's almost like there's kind of like reduced blood flow through the extremities or something. I don't even know. And then they, you but walk around for 5 minutes and take it again. It'll almost always be lower.
And really, below 100 is considered, you know, according to my endocrinologist, is normal. And really, 125 and up is getting into diabetic territory.
The medical stuff, the medical stuff is if you get tested 120 over 3 times, or your A1C is over a certain number, you're automatically considered diabetic for life. You can walk your way out of type 2 diabetes, but not everybody has the right type of type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, I'm a type 1.5, so I've been managing it more appropriately this year. But yeah,
I would spend it for. That's great.
Yeah, my A1C was a 10.3 at the beginning of the year, which was not good.
A few more points and they send you to the
on
hospital.
your finger.
And then I managed to get it down to into the 5s again. Yeah, so yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't worry. I would check your A1C, see what it's at, and you'll see a lot of times I'll get guys to get CGMs, and as like Justin said, I'll see a lot of people have cortisol spikes before you wake up, and you'll see like your blood glucose will rise in the morning before you wake up. In fact, let me look at mine.
Even just like going for a quick walk and making sure you get like at least 20 ounces of water in and then test, that might also make a difference.
You can, I don't know if you can see this or not, but
91.
Yeah.
91.
A weird spike.
Yeah, well, it was breakfast.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
What was breakfast?
It's the coffee that blows me up. I just had a piece of sourdough toast, eggs, and some salmon. That's it. Yeah, I've tested it with and without the coffee. If I don't drink coffee, it doesn't go up with coffee, it'll hit up to like 230, 240. If I don't drink coffee, it stays like in one.
Caffeine and adrenaline, probably.
It's the caffeine.
Yeah.
What's really fucking
Amy's right though. If you drop a little bit of butter in there, that might slow it down for you, or whatever your essential fatty acid.
Well, I mean, I'm having a whole egg and salmon. So
the butter zealots will agree with me.
There's already fat in there.
How much?
Butter controversy again. Here we go.
Oh yeah, all you have
calories
to do
in, calories out doesn't matter if it's butter.
But butter is on.
Butter calories don't even count, man.
They don't.
Should have added ghee to the controversial talk.
Yes.
Ghee and butter.
Yeah.
Just you just say those words, you manifest hostility in the comments section.
I'm gonna start putting the butter emoji on every single post I do.
I'm still laughing that I made a post about what triggers people, and there were still like 2 or 3 people in the comment section that got triggered. Yeah, bro, but you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to whatever the thing they were offended by. And I'm like, and I would just respond, verifying my post. Thank you. You've just verified my theories here.
I watched it unfold in real time on that post. It was pretty funny.
I put that cycle one up. That was hilarious. I was flying up to Dave's, and I felt clever, and I made it in the airport. And my social media guy Alvaro, I was telling him like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna fuck with people today. Let's see if I can get some people riled up." And I'm gonna put up a post to get people riled up, and then a post that's more positive, and see which gets more attention.
Or you could just make AI videos, because those get a lot of views.
Yeah.
They do. Oh my god, the amount of people falling for AI videos now that's going to be the next plague on social media.
Have you seen any of those tests where there's people now doing very high quality ones? I watched one where they said easy, medium, hard, and easy was harder than anyone I've seen online. But you could tell the AI one. There were 2 medium ones. One I guessed right, but I wasn't confident. The second one I had no idea. The 2 hard ones, I could never in a million years. They were, and so they're limited. It's not like they were like full scenes, but it was like a person talking at a table, and it was they're getting very good. Within a year, even the stock ones we're putting out are going to be pretty darn close to real.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, I was trying to be funny, like, because like silly one I posted on Halloween, it got me more views, I think, than any video I've ever published.
Yeah, not surprised. It's
Yeah.
they love that.
I just need to start talking shit about people and doing call out videos. And if I want to grow my the call out video, if you want to grow your social media the fastest way humanly possible, start doing call out videos. That'll get you up there. You might not survive for 2 years because people are going to fucking hate you. The only guy that I've seen seems to have embraced the heel, the heel role and survived is Greg Doucette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Survived. He's the most lucrative fitness guy. Has to be.
Most people end up imploding. They can't. I don't think they can take the heat that comes along with being the heel. They play the controversy game, but Greg just seems
how he does it.
Off of him.
Oh, he has somebody write his material.
Yeah,
like all of his stuff is all written. His brother is the one that does all the research for him. He basically is just a character playing the Iago character.
I mean, if you look at his old stuff, he didn't talk like that or do any of that stuff.
No, he used to have great advice and good advice, and didn't slam an ad in every single conversation. But yeah, no.
Oh no, that dude's a fucking genius. He's making more money than all of us combined.
Oh, 10, 20 million a month easily.
He is. Josh, you should put those troll skills to good use, man. You've got.
I know, right? He should be my inspiration.
You should embrace that and channel it.
This is medical advice, or is it?
I mean, I think it's fine to do things like that to get clicks, but once you get people to click, like if you're not providing value, I think that's where the longevity comes in.
I have
say what you want about Greg, but you can learn something by watching his videos.
I have this thing that holds me back. It's called ethics.
Yeah.
I just I can't do that. I cannot do that. It would drive me nuts. All right, folks. I think that's all we got, right? Yeah, he's open about it. He's man, he is the king of it. I don't know. Usually the people that end up doing that type of content, they end up imploding after a while.
Oh yeah,
but
big time.
He's been able to sustain it. All right, folks. Anything else before we roll? I need to go to Costco, into the gates of hell. Costco on a Sunday.
Have fun.
Oh God.
At least it's football season. It's always better to go on a Sunday during football season.
I am unemployed and independently wealthy. Maybe I should just go tomorrow.
Yeah,
hire someone to do your Costco shopping.
Yeah, there you go.
I enjoy it. I like the people watching.
It's a good little trick, Paul. Though, if I pay for the Walmart Plus. It's kind of like Amazon Prime, but you get the same prices as in the store, and they deliver for free.
Oh shit! I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
we're pretty busy. Yeah, if we're pretty busy and we need a good grocery haul, I'll just do it all on my phone on Walmart, and they text you if you need a substitution. I mean, it doesn't get any easier, and then you can also, if you like the other day, I forgot my wallet at Walmart. You can just swipe the Walmart app, right at their register, and it goes on your card.
That's the best thing about Sam's Club over Costco too, is that they have the app, so you can literally check out, and just walk out the door, on the app. You never have to go through the checkout lanes. You can just grab all your stuff.
You never have to see a human at all.
And leave. Oh no, you see lots of humans. You just don't have to stand in line.
Or interact.
I'm gonna make some heads. I'm gonna make some heads explode before we leave. But Walmart has some of the best deals and best quality meat I found.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Their steaks are good.
Yeah,
Walmart
$7.46 a pound for 96 lean, man.
They have super high quality meat, and it's very cheap.
Yeah, their steak
the
is
96 lean ground beef there, though, man. It's chewing bubble gum, man. That stuff is terrible.
You don't know how to cook.
Yeah,
you put enough salt on
on
anything.
But
Put enough salt on anything, Mike. It's fine.
yeah.
Just load it up with GQs. It is like sawdust. That is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Walmart's here sometimes twice a day because my wife and I don't communicate. Like both have Walmart orders coming on the same day.
I end up going to the expensive ass fancy grocery store by me because I'm lazy and don't want to drive more than 300 yards. But
yeah,
I just gave you the lazy hack right there.
All right. Well, now I know. I'll get myself set up.
I actually made a grocery shopping video where I did Amazon screen share. I'm sorry, Walmart screen share, rather than walking around the grocery store with a camera like a jackass.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
I like those kind of videos.
Yeah, the bottom round is good. If you do it in the slow cooker, it's pretty.
Oh, I do that bottom round literally last night for tacos. Well, wraps.
Yeah, it works good. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this up. We'll see you next week. I'm back on a regular routine now. Not traveling for a couple months, so we'll see you next week. Adios. Thank you for all your support. We love each and every one of you.